The ovarian cancer diagnosis came 2 years ago, during my surgical residency at Memorial Medical Center. Stage 2. Aggressive. My attending physician, Dr. Catherine Wells, delivered the news with careful compassion. Dr. Morgan, we caught it early enough. Surgery and chemotherapy should give you excellent outcomes. My family's response was less compassionate. Can't you just work through it? My father asked. Residency is important. My older sister Claire laughed. Leave it to Emma to find a way to get out of working. Cancer? Really? How convenient. I underwent surgery and 6 months of chemotherapy while completing my residency. Worked between treatments. Studied through the nausea. Operated when I could barely stand. My family never visited. Not once. Claire told relatives I was exaggerating a minor health issue for sympathy. My father told his country club friends I was taking a break from residency for personal reasons. They were embarrassed by my cancer. So I stopped telling them about it. I finished residency. Completed a fellowship in cardiothoracic surgery. Published groundbreaking research on minimally invasive cardiac procedures. At 34, I became the youngest chief of cardiothoracic surgery in Memorial Medical Center's history. My family knew none of this. They thought I was still a struggling resident, barely keeping my head above water. My father's 60th birthday party was at their mansion in the suburbs. 200 guests. Politicians, business leaders, his golf buddies. The kind of event where appearances mattered more than truth. I arrived in a simple black dress, my surgical scars hidden, my health fully restored. 2 years cancer-free. Chief of surgery. But to my family I was still sick Emma, who'd milked cancer for attention. Claire was holding court in the living room, her third glass of champagne in hand. She worked in pharmaceutical sales. Successful enough, but nothing compared to what she'd always imagined for herself. Emma. She air-kissed both my cheeks. It actually came. I told everyone you'd probably be too sick to make it. I'm feeling well actually. Sure you are. She turned to her audience, cousins, aunts, family, friends. My little sister had some health issues a couple years ago. Nothing serious, but she really played it up. Doctor's appointments constantly. Always complaining. Classic attention-seeking behavior. I smiled politely and said nothing. My Uncle Richard joined in. Didn't you drop out of your residency? I completed my residency actually. Really? Claire's voice dripped with false surprise. I thought you were still doing that. What are you doing now? Working at some clinic. I'm at Memorial Medical Center. Oh, a resident there then? She waved her hand dismissively. Well, good for you for getting back on track. Most people who milk medical drama like you did never recover professionally. Several people laughed. My father watched from across the room, not correcting her. Not defending me. I pulled out my phone and sent a quick text to my assistant. Status on the announcement? The response came immediately. Board meeting concluded. Press release goes live at 8 p.m. Congratulations, Dr. Morgan. I checked my watch. 7:47 p.m. Emma's probably texting her therapist, Claire Stage whispered. She's very emotionally fragile. The whole cancer thing was probably psychosomatic anyway. Stage 2 ovarian cancer, I said quietly. Requiring surgery and 6 months of chemotherapy. Not psychosomatic. Not for attention. Actual cancer. Well, you're fine now, so it couldn't have been that serious. Claire refilled her champagne. Real cancer patients don't just bounce back and return to normal life. You're right, I said. Real cancer patients often have to fight even harder to prove themselves professionally afterward. They have to work twice as hard because people assume they're weak or unreliable. Exactly my point. You're too sensitive about all this. Her phone buzzed. Then several other phones around the room chimed simultaneously. People started pulling out their devices, reading something. Expressions shifted from curiosity to shock. Oh my God, someone whispered. Claire looked at her phone. Her face went pale. The news alert was trending locally. Memorial Medical Center announces historic acquisition and leadership changes. My father walked over, reading from his tablet. Memorial Medical Center has been acquired by Cardiotech Innovations. He looked up, confused. That's that medical technology startup that's been in the news. The one worth $300 million? My uncle asked. Claire was scrolling frantically. Wait, there's more. The acquisition was led by Dr. Emma Morgan, who becomes Chief Executive Officer of the expanded Memorial Medical Campus while maintaining her position as Chief of Cardiothoracic Surgery. The room went completely silent. That can't be right, Claire said. Emma's just a Chief of Cardiothoracic Surgery, I finished. I have been for 18 months. Youngest in the hospital's history. I've also been consulting with Cardiotech for 2 years. When they decided to acquire Memorial, they asked me to lead the integration. My father's tablet shook in his hands. You're the CEO? Of a $300 million medical campus, yes. The press release just went live. I smiled. I tried to time it for after dinner. Didn't want to overshadow your birthday, Dad. Claire's champagne glass slipped from her hand, shattering on the marble floor. But you had cancer, she stammered. You were sick. You were. Fighting for my life while completing a surgical residency, I said calmly. I operated between chemotherapy sessions. Published 3 papers on cardiac surgery innovations while recovering. The research caught Cardiotech's attention. They recruited me 2 years ago. My uncle was reading aloud from his phone. Dr. Morgan is considered a pioneer in minimally invasive cardiac procedures. Her techniques have reduced surgery recovery times by 40%. Despite battling cancer during her training, she graduated top of her residency program and completed a competitive fellowship in cardiothoracic surgery. You never told us, my father said weakly. You never asked. You assumed I'd failed because I had cancer. Claire told everyone I was attention-seeking. You told your friends I'd dropped out. Kept my voice level. So I stopped sharing my life with you. I built my career while you all decided I was weak. The room was dead silent. The article also mentions, my aunt read hesitantly, that Dr. Morgan will be implementing new standards for supporting medical professionals through serious illness. The program is called Second Chance Protocols and is funded by her signing bonus. I nodded. Too many brilliant doctors are pushed out of medicine because they get sick and their colleagues assume they can't recover. I'm creating a program to support physicians through cancer treatment while maintaining their careers. Emma, I didn't know, Claire started. You didn't want to know. You wanted me to be the failure. The dramatic little sister who couldn't handle real life. I glanced around the room. I'm sorry to disrupt your party, Dad. I should go. I have a board meeting in the morning to finalize the acquisition details. Emma, wait. Congratulations on 60 years, I said. I hope it's everything you wanted. I walked toward the door. Your cancer, my father called out. Is it really gone? I turned back. 2 years in remission. My oncologist says my prognosis is excellent. Not that anyone here bothered to ask. I drove to my penthouse apartment, purchased 6 months ago with my surgeon's salary and Cardiotech consulting fees. My phone was exploding with messages. Congratulations from colleagues. Interview requests from medical journals. And finally, tentatively, messages from my family. Claire, Emma, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. Can we talk? My father, we need to discuss this. I'm proud of you. Call me. My mother, who'd been silent all evening. Your father's friends are asking questions. This is very embarrassing for us. I deleted them all except one. From Dr. Wells, my oncologist who'd supported me through treatment. Saw the news. So incredibly proud of you. You proved everyone wrong. Coffee next week to celebrate. I responded immediately. Absolutely. Thank you for believing in me when it mattered. The next morning I walked into Memorial Medical Center as CEO for the first time. The staff lined the hallways applauding. Nurses who'd brought me crackers during chemo. Fellow residents who'd covered my shifts when I was too weak. Attending physicians who'd advocated for me when others suggested I take permanent medical leave. These people had been my real family. My office was on the top floor now. Chief of surgery. At 34. My assistant brought coffee. Your family has been calling. Your sister's called 6 times. Your father wants to schedule lunch. Tell them I'm in surgery all week. Are you? No. But they don't need to know that. She smiled. Understood. The press coverage was intense. Surgeon who beat cancer now runs $300 million hospital, and from chemotherapy to CO. Dr. Emma Morgan's incredible journey. Claire tried visiting the hospital. Security turned her away. My father showed up at a board meeting, claiming he had business to discuss. I had him escorted out. My mother sent a long email about how hurtful it was that I'd hidden my success from them, how they'd always supported me, how family should communicate better. I responded with 2 lines: "You called my cancer hospital drama and attention-seeking. You've had my number for 2 years. You never called to ask how I was. Now you know why." 3 months into my new role, I was invited to speak at a national medical conference about physician resilience and career recovery after serious illness. I stood on that stage before 5,000 healthcare professionals and told the truth. My family told colleagues I was attention-seeking when I had stage 2 ovarian cancer. They said I was milking hospital drama. They didn't visit during treatment. They assumed I'd failed professionally. I paused. That assumption was wrong. But their dismissal taught me something valuable. My worth isn't determined by people who refuse to see it. The audience erupted in applause. I built my career while fighting cancer because medicine was my purpose. The hospital staff who supported me, nurses, residents, attending physicians, they became my real family. They saw my potential when my blood relatives saw only weakness. After the speech, a young resident approached me crying, "My family thinks I should quit medicine because I have lupus. They say I'm being stubborn and unrealistic." "Are you a good doctor?" I asked. "I think so. My patients say I am." "Then that's what matters. Not your family's limited vision of what's possible." I handed her my card. "When you're ready for a fellowship, call me. Memorial has a new program specifically for physicians managing chronic illness." 1 year after the acquisition, Memorial Medical Center had grown by 40%. Our physician wellness program was nationally recognized. Patient outcomes had improved across all departments. And I'd built something my family's dismissal could never touch. Claire sent one final message: "I see your success everywhere. I'm genuinely proud of you even if I have no right to be. I'm sorry I didn't believe in you when it mattered." I read it twice, then archived it without responding. Because some apologies come too late. Some relationships can't be salvaged. And some bridges burn completely for good reason. My father tried one last time, showing up at a hospital fundraiser I was hosting. He approached during the reception looking older somehow. "Emma, can we talk?" "We are talking. Privately. I want to apologize properly." "Explain." "There's nothing to explain, Dad. You and Claire decided I was weak because I got cancer. You told people I was attention-seeking instead of supporting me. You've had 2 years to reach out. You only cared once my success became public. That's not fair. What's not fair is going through cancer treatment alone while your family mocks you to relatives." I met his eyes. "I'm not angry anymore. I'm just done. Emma, please. Enjoy the fundraiser. We're raising money for the physician wellness program. The one I created because my own family taught me that medical professionals need support systems that actually show up." I walked away. He didn't follow. 2 years after that birthday party, I was thriving. Memorial Medical Center was a national model for physician wellness and patient care innovation. My surgical techniques were taught in medical schools. My cancer remained in remission. And my family remained in the past where they belonged. I'd learned the most powerful lesson. Success built on your own terms, supported by people who believe in you, is worth more than any family approval. They'd called my cancer hospital drama. I'd turned that hospital into a medical empire. And I'd done it without them. Sometimes the greatest revenge isn't proving people wrong. It's building a life so successful, so meaningful, so impactful that their opinions become irrelevant. I was chief of surgery. Cancer survivor. Pioneer. And I'd achieved it all while the people who should have supported me were busy deciding I was too weak to matter. They were wrong. And now everyone knew it. 3 years after becoming CEO, I received an invitation to testify before a congressional committee on healthcare innovation and physician retention. My program at Memorial had reduced physician burnout by 60% and become a national model. I sat at the witness table in Washington, D.C., looking out at the packed hearing room. In the back row I spotted my father. He'd somehow gotten credentials as press. "Dr. Morgan," the committee chair began, "your physician wellness program has attracted attention nationwide. What inspired you to create it?" "Personal experience, Senator. I completed my surgical residency while undergoing treatment for ovarian cancer. I worked between chemotherapy sessions, operated while barely able to stand, and published research while fighting for my life. I paused, making eye contact with my father. My family told colleagues I was being dramatic. They said my cancer was attention-seeking behavior. They never visited during treatment. The room went completely silent. That experience taught me that our healthcare system fails physicians who get sick. We're expected to be invincible. When we're not, we're discarded as weak or unreliable. I built this program to prove that physicians can survive serious illness and return stronger, more empathetic and more effective than before. The testimony went viral within hours. News outlets picked up the personal angle. Hospital CEO reveals family abandoned her during cancer treatment. My phone exploded. This time I didn't ignore my family's messages. I responded to each one with the same reply. I've spent 3 years building something meaningful from the experience you dismissed. Your apologies now don't change the past. But they do confirm that you only value success you can see and brag about. That says everything about you and nothing about me. 6 months later, Memorial Medical Center won the National Healthcare Innovation Award. The ceremony was at the Kennedy Center. My entire surgical team attended. My oncologist, Dr. Wells, was my guest of honor. As I accepted the award, I thanked everyone who'd supported me, to the nurses who brought me saltines during chemo, to the residents who covered my shifts when I couldn't stand, to Dr. Wells who saved my life and never doubted I'd return to surgery. You're my family. You believed in me when it cost you nothing and gained you everything. The standing ovation lasted 7 minutes. Backstage afterward, a young medical student approached, crying. My parents want me to quit med school because I have cancer. They say it's too hard, that I should focus on just surviving. But you proved it's possible. I took both her hands. It's more than possible. It's powerful. You'll be a better doctor because of what you've survived. Don't let anyone, even family, convince you otherwise. She hugged me tight. Thank you for showing us the way. I watched her walk away, shoulders straighter, hope restored. And I realized this was why my family's rejection had been necessary. Their dismissal had freed me to become exactly who I was meant to be, not despite their cruelty but because I'd survived it. That night, back in my office at Memorial, I looked at the award on my desk. Chief of Surgery. National Healthcare Innovator of the Year. Cancer Survivor. My sister's champagne glass shattering on marble seemed like a lifetime ago. My father's 60th birthday, where they'd mocked my hospital drama, felt like another person's memory. I'd built an empire from their dismissal. Created programs that saved careers and lives. Proven that survival isn't just about living. It's about thriving so completely that the people who doubted you become footnotes in your success story. My phone buzzed one final time. An unknown number. This is Claire. I saw your award ceremony. I finally understand what I did to you. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I just wanted you to know, I was wrong. And you were extraordinary. I read it once. Then deleted it. As some chapters close completely. And some success stories are better written without the people who tried to edit you out. I was exactly where I belonged. At the top. Alone by choice. Surrounded by people who'd earned their place in my life. And finally, completely free.